Welcome to our seconda lezione, our second lesson in tourist Italian. Well, you've survived the first lesson. That's great news. This lesson is going to be just as exciting. We're looking at how Italian verbs conjugate. Yes, it sounds like a bit of a marriage, but it's not. So basically, people have asked the question, why do so many languages have verb or noun conjugation, but English doesn't? Well, I sourced the answer from Quora, which is a place that shares knowledge. It's a public forum for getting answers on things. And Quora says, the modern English language has both Germanic and Latin origin. They didn't know which conjugation system to choose, so they just abandoned both rules most of the time. So what is the purpose of conjugation then? Well, conjugation, which is, I call it a modification or mutation of the original verb. It's a change that takes place in a verb to express the tense, the mood, the person, and so on. Basically, conjugating verbs essentially means altering them in a different way to create another form to provide context, such as gender. Is it he or she speaking? Is it singular or plural? Is it me, him, her, them, us, whatever? And when is it happening on the timeline? Yesterday, today, or tomorrow? So let's have a look at that for a second, because the pronouns are very important here. The pronouns in Italian do change. They have a singular and plural form. The first person, as we know it, is I or we. In Italian, it becomes io, and the second person is you, tu. If I speak to you, you're the second person, I'm the first person. Then there's a third person. So you and I can be speaking about somebody else. That somebody else is the third person. It doesn't have to be a person, could be a thing, an animal, a place, whatever. That comes under the third person banner. The third person is also can be masculine or feminine. For example, masculine, third person means he or him. In Italian, it's lui. Feminine, she or her. In Italian, lei. So we know we're talking about her or she in that context or whatever we're saying. And also there's a lei down the bottom there, the formal version of you. This you'll find in Italy still being used to address a policeman, a judge, a doctor, a specialist, an engineer, someone of great status, the mayor. I mean, someone who holds a position deserves the respect. This is a way of showing respect by referring to these people as lei. If a policeman comes up to me and the lady policeman says, mi scusi, I say, sì, cosa vuole lei? What do you want? Now the you, I said lei because I'm referring to them as a person that holds position. When I'm familiar with someone, I use tu. You. We know each other. We're in the class, we're at work, we're in the family. It's tu. That's informal. When you look at the plural form of the pronouns, up the top, first person plural is noi, which means us or we. Second person, voi, which is you, or as Jeff Fennick would say, use. And of course, the third person, loro, them or they. Also feminine is loro, them or they. It adopts the same. So the second lesson is pretty much about conjugating verbs. This is one verb you had a taste of already in the first lesson, which is abitare. And by the way, it's only got one B. I think there was a bit of a typo in the first lesson. But abitare with one B means to live or reside at. Where do you live? Dove abiti? Abito. I live. Abiti, you live. Lui, lei, and the formal abita. Noi abitiamo. We live. Voi abitate. You live, plural. I'm talking to more than one person. Loro abitano. A third person, plural. We're talking about someone else outside of our little circle. Dove abitano. Where do they live? Dove abiti. Where do you live? Abito. So in a verb, in Italian, the conjugated verb already includes, it's built in, part of the package, the pronoun. So you don't say io abito, it would be like saying I live. You're duplicating. Abito a Gulwa, I live in Gulwa. Let's have a look at some of the up and coming verbs in your second lesson. And there are 5 verbs here. Some verbs regular and others irregular. Fare, essere, partire, avere, parlare. Fare is to do. If you're doing something, if you look down there with io, me, I, it's faccio, not faccio, faccio. What that means is I make, I do. Example, faccio il caffè. I'm now going to make the coffee. I'm making the coffee. Faccio il caffè. Cosa fai? What are you doing? Cosa, C-O-S-A, cosa means what? Cosa fai? Question. What are you doing? And I'll go back to the verbs now. Fare is to do. Essere is to be. To be or not to be, it's the most important verb in any language because it refers to self. Essere, being, to be. Sono stanco, I am tired. You see, I didn't have to say io sono stanco. Sono stanco. That goes for male. A female would say sono stanca because the adjective reflects the gender. Stanco, masculine. Stanca, feminine. As in bella, feminine. Bello, beautiful man. Bella, beautiful woman. Partire is to depart, to go. We're leaving tomorrow. Partiamo domani. Where I got that from, the pronouns on your left, noi, us, we. Go back to partire, come down, fourth down is partiamo. That literally means we are leaving. Partiamo domani. Domani means tomorrow. We're leaving tomorrow. Partiamo domani. Avere is to have. Like, for example, I'm hungry. Well, the Italians don't say I am hungry. They say I have hunger. So it's avere. Ho fame. We get the word famine from this Latin-based word fame, which is hunger. Ho fame. I am hungry. Parlare. Parlo inglese. I speak English. I'm asking you. Parli italiano? Do you speak Italian? We're in a group. Sì, parliamo italiano. Yes, we speak Italian. How's that? So once again, just go back and review this video as much as you can. Repetition is the mother of learning. And sometimes it may seem a bit like, oh, goodness, I'll never remember all these. Don't worry. The more we speak Italian, the more we practice it, the more it just becomes embedded into your consciousness. It becomes a part of who you are. Here are some verbs. We're not going to do those now, but they're in pagina 10, page 10. That's going to be your homework for the next lesson so that you do it next week. In any case, I hope this was a good little tester for you. I found this to be one of the best translation apps that I can put on my phone. I have it on my phone. You can actually pick any language and translate from one language to another. But if you go into your Play Store and look up Google Translations or Google Translate, you'll get this symbol, and that's the one you want. It's free and it's a powerful tool. You don't have to buy books anymore. Everything's on the internet. And I wish you all the very best, and I look forward to seeing you again. Allora, a presto. See you soon. A presto.
Why, that's amore.